All right, so here with us is Eric. How are you, Eric?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. So tell us a little bit about you.
My name is Erik Elizarres. I work in animation primarily. I work on a ton of different cartoons, regular show, Animaniacs, Tiny Toons. But lately I've been kind of diving into comics. I've been doing variant covers for Top Shelf Comic out of the East Coast. I have some variant covers up here at the store, and then I've also done an Optimus and a Megatron for the art show.
Yeah, so basically one of us. I mean, all the stuff that you guys watch, that you guys love, that we talk about on the show, he's been a part of it. So for today, it's the art walk. It's Transformers themed. You guys will see it as we're talking, what he brought here. For you, when did you first get introduced to Transformers?
As a kid in the 80s, watching Transformers. As soon as I got out of school, I would go home and watch Transformers and, just hooked right away. The music, the intro, the animation, it was just so much fun. And then buying the toys. I had the Soundwave and the Megatron and Optimus, and I wish I would have held on to them.
Yeah, I was going to say, the important question is, do you still have them?
No, but I do have all my He-Man figures, so... I have.
Well, those are going to be valuable again in a couple months.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, pretty much like most of us, that if you're of a certain age, I'm actually a little older than you. So yeah, I used to come home from 6th or 7th grade, I think it was, to watch Transformers, G.I. Joe, all of that. So how did you get into animation?
I went to school at Cal State Fullerton for animation. I was actually a physical therapy major at Cal State Long Beach. And I transferred to Cal State Fullerton, and I took a couple of art classes as electives. And I had a couple professors just kind of say, hey, you're pretty good. You should maybe think of this as a career. And I kind of took it as a sign, and then I went ahead and went full on in animation.
So that wasn't your dream job?
I mean, it's every kid's dream job, but, they don't know. I didn't know you could make money doing it at the time, like a lot of people. And I didn't want to be a starving artist, so...
Yeah. So, what was the first thing you did in animation?
The first shows I worked on were Hi Hi Puffy Yumi and then Camp Lazlo. Then I continued with Flapjack. I worked at Cartoon Network for about 10 years. Worked on a ton of different shows. Went over to Disney. Worked on, Wander Over Yonder and Gravity Falls and Future Worm, DuckTales. And then over to Nickelodeon for a few years, where I worked on Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Invader Zim movie, and the Rocko's Modern Life movie. Then over to Warner Brothers, where I worked on Animaniacs and Tiny Toons, and then I've been working different jobs since. But my most recent one was regular show.
You made it sound easy, but I'm sure it's not, and they know it. How hard was it to break in?
It was a challenge to break in. At the time, though, the industry was doing a lot better. Recently, it's been a little bit harder to find jobs, but I was a young dad, and I really was focused on what I wanted to do, and I just made it happen. I started as a production assistant for about a year. I got my portfolio together and turned that in, and then I got my first job on Camp Lazlo. It was Joe Murray who got me my first job.
Yeah. So, advice to everybody that is watching you and thinking, hey, I want to do that. I want to be an animator, especially, I'm sure you talk about this, with AI and AI-generated stuff. I mean, how would they break in now?
I would say don't give up on your dreams. Try to build a strong portfolio. Draw every day. I don't know if AI is going to take over jobs, because I feel like people are getting sick of AI. I know I am. Whenever I see it on Instagram or whatever, I just can't even look at it anymore. And so there's something about the hand-drawn look and people creating things that I don't think is ever going to change.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, people know when something is not human, is what I always say.
I would agree 100%.
So, can you, do you have social media, website where they want them to follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Erik _Elizarres. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now, doing the comic stuff. That's where they can follow, or on Facebook as well.
Yeah, and you guys will see it all on the description. So again, Erik, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.